Welcome to another episode of the Steelhead Nation podcast. My name is Alex Hudjon,
I am Adam McNamara.
and this is where we sit around and we talk about stuff that has to do with steelhead gear, fishing, and random things in bourbon
And whiskey.
and whiskey.
Whiskey.
In general. What do you got?
So today I grabbed a Widow Jane 10-year. Widow Jane is actually a distillery in New York State. Kind of a cool story. They have a old limestone mine that was renowned for the quality of its limestone that is now whatever you call a disused mine. And this company collects the water from that limestone mine and uses it to both distill their own whiskey, and they do some sourcing of outside whiskeys. So this is a 10-year, but really Widow Jane is
Smells
it's really
freaking
nice.
awesome. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. One thing about Widow Jane that I've found in general is they have a lot of vanilla.
Yeah,
No, they have a lot of fruity notes in
I
Widow
like it.
Jane. It's
that's
a
good.
really pleasant whiskey to drink.
Is it available at most?
Yeah, you can get it most places. It can be a little hard to find just because it's a small distillery, not super readily available. But everything I've had from it is good. This is maybe my favorite.
I really like that. What's it run usually?
This one's about $69, I think. So kind of that mid price point when it comes to whiskey.
Mid price.
60's the new 40.
Jeez.
Seems that way on everything.
I know. Whiskey's getting up there, man.
Yeah, it's the crazy collectors that really have driven it up right now. Allocation is really pushed up the price. We're actually super lucky to live in a state that has control on pricing, so we don't pay over MSRP. That's just the way Oregon works. One of the few things that has really worked to our advantage with the
one of the few things in Oregon that works.
Yes. One of the OLCC things that actually works to our advantage is that we are controlled to go to MSRP. So if you're lucky enough to find allocated whiskey here, you tend to pay MSRP for it.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff now that's even California, which is not. It's gotten pretty brutal on stuff.
Yeah, they
bottles
charge
that
whatever they
are
want, right?
Yeah, $29 bottles that guys are paying $150 for. $40 bottles that people are paying $400 for just because you can't get it allocated.
Man, I gotta bring a bottle of that Duke whiskey in. The John Wayne whiskey.
Yeah.
So I bought it because it's John Wayne.
Gotta buy the John
It's
Wayne
$40,
whiskey.
and I got a bottle for myself and one for my father-in-law. And we both tried it. And we were both like, "Wow, that's really good." I don't know. Obviously, somebody makes it for him, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know who it is. I haven't done any research on it by of any kind. But it's delicious. So I'll bring some of that. And we'll try
A lot of times they do a pretty good job of trying to hide that. There's
who makes it?
who makes it. Those kind of secondary bottlers aren't usually advertising that it came from Buffalo Trace or
we need to bring some of that killdeer in if we're gonna do this.
I still have a bit of it in my house,
Yeah.
and it's pretty close to the place, so I can run and grab a new bottle.
I need to go get some. That stuff was so good. That wasn't last Christmas? 2 Christmases ago.
Yeah, we need to do another.
No, we did a collaboration whiskey with our friends at Killdeer Distilling out of Yamhill. Yamhill? Is that considered Yamhill?
Yeah, I think
Carlton?
Yamhill, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Up in wine country.
Yeah. Real small distillery, great stuff. If you're in Oregon, you can order it from their website. Killdeer, like the bird, distillery. Google them, you'll find it. They make. They got whiskey. I think they have vodka.
Yeah, vodka was really good.
Their vodka was really good. Vodka, whiskey, absinthe, this small batch of absinthe,
Yeah.
and something else.
If you like that sort of thing.
I don't like absinthe, but distillers are nerds and they like to make weird shit like that. And Colin's one of those people. But anyway, good stuff. What else we got going on? We got our free stickers now on the website. Go to the website, use the code STICKY, STICK, for the die cut vinyl steelhead inside sticker, and you get it for free. All you got to pay is the small shipping and handling charge on that. And that sticker looks like this. And if you're listening to the podcast, it looks like this. But it's a white die cut vinyl steelhead sticker. Super cool. Great for your back window of your pickup or on your cooler. But you can get that for free. All you got to pay is the shipping and handling charge, because everything costs something, right? And then new stickers.
Yes.
These two are my favorite, man.
Love them. I love the pink sticker.
Dude, if you can't, you're listening again, you can't see it, sorry. Go to the website, check out the new stickers that we got on there. Neon Moon is like this hazy kind of fade from blue to purple to pink to orange, kind of a 80s retro looking color. And then Neon Sun is like a teal to neon yellow with some green in between, same kind of fade. These things are really cool. Perfect for summertime. Slap them on your rig, put them on your cooler, put them on your hard hat, put them on your butt cheeks. I don't know.
Put them on your wife, put them on your dog.
They're great. I love these things. So, and we got a bunch more too. We got some American flag stickers. Speaking of that, 4th of July is coming up. We're going to have all of our American flag stuff out. We have new flags, new steelhead flags that we're making that hopefully are here sooner
Fingers
than
crossed.
later.
We've never used this vendor before.
No,
so.
but they come pretty quick. And then new face masks are live right now on the website. Kind of sneak peeking
Actually,
some of our summer prints here with these. So we got the Youth Brigade.
nothing
Yep.
like the creamsicle, popsicle,
That's right.
BMX bike.
Strapping your fishing pole to the handlebars of your bike and hitting the road in the summertime.
I also have
Don't step on snake.
no step on the snake. Watch your step.
Yeah.
Got the rattlesnake, the sagebrush, the Deschutes look.
Yep. I love that one. I want to take one of those home. And then we got the Trusty Rusty here, the old standby. We did these in reverse last time around. They were orange with black fish. Now they're black with orange fish.
I like it better this way.
I like it better this way too. Super cool. And neck gaiter. I say face mask, but neck gaiter, sun protective. These are we get these done through Hoorag. They've been a good vendor for these things for us. I love them. They're antimicrobial. They work as, they call it a tubular bandana. And they show 47 different ways to wear it. I just put it over my face. I don't think I would ever walk around with this as a hat.
I don't think I'd ever call it a tubular bandana either.
Yeah.
Alex, the
Oh,
Okay,
look
yeah.
at that. There's a
Baby
shark
shark.
with a laser gun shooting goldfish.
There we go. But I don't care about it. But anyway, these things are on the website, and then the American Eagle,
Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle, Iron Eagle. American Eagle was the other one.
American Eagle was
Yeah.
the other one.
This thing, you can't see it because if you're listening, but if you're not listening, this thing is legit. Love this thing. It's like an old Harley logo looking thing. Super cool. Always searching. Just freaking awesome. So these turned out great. Thank you to our friends at Hoorag for hooking it up. And there's a few folks that make these things. I like a Hoorag. They do a good job. And you can pick those up on the website. They're reasonably priced. And a great add-on if you're trying to get up over the free shipping threshold for summertime.
Because nothing is worse than paying shipping for anything.
Correct. But you got to do it. you got to charge it. I like these things for more than anything, just for wearing around your neck in the summertime to keep like the bugs off and to dip in the water and keep yourself cool. I'm not so concerned with the sun protection aspect of them, although they are there. It's nice to keep yourself cool and keep the bugs off. Especially if you head down to the Willamette, which we would normally be doing this time of year. We'd be heading down to the Willamette and doing some bass fishing, but we're not because it is raining like cats. Not at the moment, but it's been raining over the past week, and our river levels are through the roof.
Let's call them poopy.
Poopy.
Our river levels are just annoyingly poopy.
And it's good because we've had some really dry years last couple years. But pretty much everything from Eugene, Oregon, north has been dumped with rain. We are in the state of Oregon, with the exception of central Oregon, like the Klamath Basin, Medford. Even then, though, their water levels are up. They are up. But everything else is above threshold, right?
Yeah, the northern, I know that the northern part and the northwestern part in particular are very flush with water right this instant.
Yeah.
So hopefully it holds out. Hopefully we get a later season. You know, it's kind of interesting because out on the river right now, it's definitely fishable, but the water flows and color are a lot more similar to April.
Chris was saying Lost Creek is full, which that hasn't been full in a long time.
Yeah, I am not sure because I'm not that familiar with down there, but I can't imagine most of Oregon isn't in a better situation than they have been in the last few years.
Let's look it up. We have the power of technology in our hands. Oregon water levels. Wait, what should I look up? That probably wouldn't work. Oregon.
Snowpack.
There you go. That's right. Thank you. Oregon snowpack levels. Let's see. There's usually like a heat map kind of thing that pops up. And no.
Well, look it up.
If you're interested in it, look it up because they're actually quite full. I think some of these places are above what they normally have been the last couple of years by quite a bit. But what's his name? What's the dude that owns Fly Fisher's Place?
Anyway.
He was just posting the other day about the river levels or water levels, and it was just amazing to see. I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot his name.
I've got a friend who guides down on the McKenzie. He floats back and forth from Deschutes to the McKenzie fly fishing, and just he posted something the other day that he's been a lot of years since the McKenzie had such a nice high water spring. It's fishing really good, and it's just
Jeff
good right
Perrin.
now. Oh yeah, Perrin. Yeah, there you go.
Everybody knows that guy.
Unless you ask them right in the middle of a podcast,
And then they'd have no idea who he is. Nice dude. Let's see if we can find that. He's got it in here because this is interesting. I think it's interesting to look at the levels because it was not that long ago where we were in a really, really bad situation. So if we're looking at the state of Oregon and percentage of snowpack, 100 being the best.
100 being average.
Average, correct. The Medford area, Klamath area, Malheur, all that. Malheur zone down there in southeastern Oregon, we'll talk about Oregon specifically because obviously it's where we live. They're at 125 to 120%.
Now, I believe that's 10-year average, right? Isn't that what when they do average?
This is West Side Snowtail current snow water equivalent percentage of normal, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So it is a 91 to 2,000 median. So there you go. There's your average.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 125 to 120% southeastern Oregon. Central, south central Oregon, you're looking at like Klamath area is 89%. They get that California updraft, they get screwed. But the Medford zone's 102%, 96%. Willamette Valley, 184%. Deschutes zone, 136%. The Gorge zone, 199%. Northeastern Oregon, 174 and 148%. It's a ridiculous amount of water for what we've normally seen in the past, like 5 years. I gauge my water levels off of 4th of July. We're going to have a good year if it rains on the 4th of July. As far as like fire and water, forest fires and water goes. If Memorial Day is hot, but it rains on the 4th of July, we'll be okay. If Memorial Day is hot and it's hot on the 4th of July, we're totally screwed.
Anecdotally, that's probably a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I think
it really has nothing to do with anything other than my own witchcraft that I come up with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we are having such a water year, and I think, we've gotten so used to it being hot and sunny and like ready to go by Memorial Day that it seems this year like it just won't stop raining.
Mm-hmm.
And yet
this is normal.
This is probably closer to normal.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, I was, talking to my wife and who lived here her whole life, and we were talking about the fact that it seemed like even as a kid, it always rained all the way through the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And this year it's going to rain, and it's been great for the fish. It's great. Again, it's these fish need
springer fishing
cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends who are fishing the coast for springers are having a great year.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a, usually when I would guide over there, I wouldn't, prior to guiding in Alaska, I would spend my kind of spring and early summer over guiding the coast there used to be a lot more hatchery summers in all those rivers, and then springers, and generally speaking, I would start there about, the 3rd week of May was consistent fishing. And so the friends that I have that still fish it a lot for springers are having great time.
Yeah.
Right now there's good fresh fish, and they're doing well.
This time of year we'd be out on the Willamette, like we were saying earlier, smallmouth fishing. But this year not so much. But they do have open sturgeon fishery.
Yeah, for another 3 days.
3 days.
I think you have 3 more days to go get some sturgeon.
Yep.
So if you listen to this
a retention
after the 11th, don't kill sturgeon.
Don't kill sturgeon. You'll go to jail. And it will not be our fault because we've given you the PSA. But I noticed, I was watching the Addicted guys were out sturgeon fishing the other night on a live feed, or at least a video I saw. And then you used to do the big boys up by Bonneville, right?
Yeah, I used to sturgeon fish a lot. Actually, I'd do retention.
I've only done it a couple. I've really only done it maybe 4 or 5 times. And twice with a guide, same guide, Sturgeon Frank, and he was a blast. Just a smaller fish on the Willamette.
Yeah.
4 to 6 footers. It wasn't like the big beasts, but it was fun. It was super fun. And if you want to go just yank on some fish, that's a great, fun time.
Yeah, it's really fun. And there's something so unique about a freshwater fishery where you could potentially catch a 10-foot fish, And, we would go up usually and fish shad in the morning for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then run to wherever we're going to fish sturgeon, fish whole shad for bait. And it's a blast, man. You catch some giant fish, and they're just cool. They're super cool.
Are they cool?
They're just a big old dinosaur. They jump when you hook them, almost always the big fish.
I've eaten them. I've had them. I'm not very interested in eating another one, personally. Yeah. I mean, I know some people are, and some people really love them. And I don't care either way, as long as it's legal. But just me personally, there's other fish I'd rather eat.
Stripers.
Yeah. But they can be really fun to catch.
Yeah.
I've actually got a bunch of friends in Northern California that want to come up and do those big sturgeon.
Yeah.
What's the biggest sturgeon you ever caught? Or
I
had
don't
a
know,
client?
I mean, I've had clients get really big fish. I've caught really big fish, but you tend to just catch them, release them. You can't take them out of the water. And
Sure, but like how big?
oh,
If you had to guess.
I would guess you get a lot of fish. The bigger fish, everybody always thinks they're 25 feet long.
Yeah, no.
Stupid thing, but they're not.
No.
A 10-foot fish is a really big fish.
Mm-hmm.
An 8-foot fish is a really big fish.
Mm-hmm.
A 10-foot fish is giant.
Isn't it amazing though the difference between like, because you think 4 feet and 8 feet, yeah, it's double in size, but the difference between a 4-foot sturgeon and an 8-foot sturgeon is dramatic. There's a dramatic difference.
Yeah, as they get above about that like 68, 72
It's
inch
in
mark,
circumference.
they just start to get really girthy.
Yeah.
And then then in the spring when we used to target those fish, I mean, you get fish that if you would have got in the water with them, I don't think you could have grabbed your fingers on them. Just big girthy monsters,
Yeah.
and you try and
I know the feeling.
yeah, it's your boyfriend. It's Pride Month. So yeah, they just like they're cool, and everybody overestimates the size of fish when they catch them. I guided long enough on the Nushagak to hear about how many people caught 20, 50 pound salmon in the week they were there, whereas as a guide there, I saw one over 50 pound salmon in 7 years.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But sturgeon
the fish
are
gets exponentially larger the further away it gets from the boat.
Well, and also sturgeon, people don't have a point of reference.
Sure.
When you catch a fish that's 8 feet long, it looks like it's the size of your car.
Yeah.
Because
it probably is.
Yeah, you just can't, you don't have a frame of reference.
Yeah.
I think they really skew people's.
When you see an 8-foot fish jump out of the water,
it's crazy.
With the power that they have, holy shit.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. There's no other word for it.
My favorite feeling was always you'd fish whole shad, and the way you rig a whole shad
like a tarpon
is you would have these, shad were probably 14, 18 inches long, somewhere in there. And they have a soft spot on your head, so you take a 10-aught hook, you push it in the soft spot and out their nose. And then you make little cuts around their body, and then you take a long leader, like 72 inches long, and you half hitch it around their body until the weight is just like right by the tail of the shad, so it drags it right to the very bottom. Mm-hmm. You use a pretty heavy weight. And so...
Like a what?
Oh, depends on the current, but sometimes as much as 2 pounds.
Yeah.
2.5 pounds, depending on where you're sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes only a pound, or 12 ounces even. But just depends on where you're sitting and what everything, Mm-hmm. Obviously, the less you have to reel up off the bottom, the more fun it is. But always there's the point in time you have the rods and the rod holders because everyone wants to set the hook real fast, and you just want to let them eat it. And so
vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, and those big heavy rods, you'd be fishing those big giant baits, and usually the tip of the rod would kind of beep 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 beep. Mm-hmm. It would be like a little crappie bite.
Yeah, because it's not like a strike and they bail. It's a
you'd see it would kind of wiggle, and guys would go, "Oh, should I get it?" And you go, "Wait."
Yeah.
And they would wiggle a little more, and they go, "Should I get it?" And you go, "No, wait."
Yeah.
They go, "Oh, should I get it?" No, wait. And after what would always seem like about a month of Sundays, that rod would just get heavy and bend to the water, and the line would start going. You go, "Okay, now you can get it."
Yeah.
But at some point, usually when they jump, there's enough pressure on that line that you're using like 96-pound Dacron for liter. 120-pound Dacron for leader, would start to pull that shad apart, and you'd feel your leader go as it popped through.
Oh, as it popped off the fish because you had it half hitched?
The pressure is enough that the half hitches finally break through the fish one after the other. Yeah. And so you'd feel them, it would just be like, you'd feel that thing like popping apart.
Like, I'm gonna lose it.
It was always just like the coolest feeling because you never feel that when you're fishing. That.
Well, and you don't feel it when you fish the small ones either.
No.
Because you just got a glob of catfish or something shitting on there.
Yeah, just a big old chunk of smelt or some roll mop herring or worms or sand shrimp.
Yeah,
anything.
whatever. Yeah.
Short of like a Cheeto, they'll pretty much suck anything up off the bottom.
They are vacuum cleaners. Man, I just want to go find some of those big giant bastards. That'd be so fun.
It's really fun.
I've never done it.
You know, there's a surprising amount up higher in the Willamette. I used to guide them up here a little higher, and you know, especially in the winter, for whatever reason, sometimes water be high and muddy. We, you know, fish above Newburgh, and there's quite a few or in between Newburgh and like down to the mouth of the Malala. There's a bunch of deep water, and there's actually a surprising amount of small shaker fish up there. But every once in a while, because there you fish smaller deer, every once in a while you catch, you know, 6-7 foot fish. You'd be fishing little steelhead rods and you just catch some big behemoth. You'd never think they were in there, but
I've never I've never fished for sturgeon in Northern California, but I know we've got, you know, just kind of your standard white sturgeon up here.
In greens.
I've never seen the greens up here personally.
They're pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Northern California, they've got greens, and I've seen. I know nothing. I sound like an absolute tool talking about sturgeon because I know nothing about sturgeon at all. But I've seen some wild looking fish in Northern California. You see them sometimes. When I was a kid, you would see them, for whatever reason, they're migrating to a different zone. You'd see them in shallower water, and they would just look like a freaking dragon. I mean, just absolute ridiculous looking fish to an 8-year-old child that's walking across a stretch of river, and you're like, ah! You know what I mean? In the summertime, just frightening looking things.
I've actually caught 2 of them on a fly rod.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in the shallows like that, in the summertime, when we go up and fly fish for carp, of all things, they're every once in a while you'll just be walking across a sand flat and there'll be a sturgeon laying in the sand, and if you cast a carp fly, which looks like a little clam neck that sticks out of the sand, and it falls next to them, they'll eat it for whatever reason. Like you'll see them, and I mean, a lot of times they're in like 2 feet of water. The water's clear as can be. You'll cast next, and it'll sink to the bottom, and you'll see that fish just turn and shuffle over to it and suck it off the bottom. I've caught 2 of them that way. Neither one, 30 inches maybe. But still fun. Quite a rarity to catch a sturgeon on a fly rod.
Yeah, you'd get into them if you were sitting there with plugs for salmon back in the day.
I've caught a few of them that way.
Down in back when we were kids in Northern California.
And I've got a few of them trolling herring for springers down.
Oh yeah.
In the lower Willamette, you get into you get your baits running a little deep, and they bounce on the bottom a few times, and then just happen to get in the right place for a sturgeon, suck it up while it went past him real slow. Catch him on the plug.
Now we got to do it. Now we got to go do it. AJ, put it on the calendar.
We'll do.
Now we got to go do the sturgeon trip.
I think we need to do a walleye trip.
Ooh, I want to do that. I want to do that with TJ Hester. You know him?
Nope.
Probably don't. He's a younger guy. He is the walleye guy up like by in the gorge up Hepner.
John Day.
Yeah, John Day zone, that area. I haven't been out that way in a long time, but he's the guy. Everybody tells me that's the guy you got to go with. So if TJ, and actually back Make Me Tease days, we used to do some stuff for TJ. If you hear this, TJ, we want to go out and do something with you. We just need to get on his books.
I've caught 2 of them in my life, and my honest assessment was they're delicious, and they fight like a dirty gym sock.
Like reeling in a suitcase?
Yeah, not a suitcase, like a sock,
a shoebox.
I honestly, so the first one I ever caught, I was fishing in the mouth of the John Day. We were fishing for bass, and I hooked a fish, got a bite, hooked a fish. We were fishing like just jigs.
Yeah.
Hooked a fish, and I was like, a fish, and then I was like, I think he got in the weeds. And I kind of reeled him up, and I was like, oh,
walleye.
But it was like, what the hell is that? I got it up, and it was a walleye, and I literally thought I had caught a small bass, and he had like tangled in some seaweed, and I was just kind of pulling him in while he struggled in the seaweed.
Is that so? I think in my life, I think I remember one time accidentally catching a walleye on the Willamette. And I don't remember. It was. It was one time. I think you're probably. It was like reeling in a smallmouth bass or something. It wasn't like ridiculous fight, right?
Yeah.
But there are these guys in the Midwest. That's their game. That's all they do is walleye. So if they're not tough fighters like that,
It's because they're delicious.
they are good. But I mean, it's also got to be the fun part of it, right?
I mean, catching any fish is fun.
That's true. That's true.
I would actually tell you, I think it was like catching a squawfish. You ever fishing when you get that bite and you're like, oh, there we go, and you set that hook, and for a split second you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, something's wrong, and you reel it up and you're like, it's a squawfish. I'm sorry, a northern pike minnow.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to call them that anymore. But
yeah, that's not PC.
It's like a northern pike minnow.
I got into a bunch of northern pike minnows on the Sandy one day, like 4 of them in a row, and fishing for steelhead. And each time I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh.
That's exactly what I mean. There's about a 1.5 seconds when the rod bends and you feel that weight and the first head shake and you're like, that's a fish, and then you're like, but it's definitely not a steelhead.
Well, okay, so we've established we got to book a trip walleye with TJ. We got to get a sturgeon trip on the books. We got new stickers on the website. We got the free sticker you can get. Use the code STICKY sticky. You get the sticker for free. Just got to pay the shipping and handling. We got new flags coming. We got new summer release coming in a couple weeks. This weekend, the 11th of June, Matson Park near Grants Pass. We're doing our river cleanup on the Rogue River. We're going down there. We'll be there at 10 a.m. Drive out. We'll bring some cornhole boards. We'll have some drinks. We'll have some snacks.
Pick up some trash.
Take it back to Chris Clogston's house. Dump it in his driveway. Go back to Portland.
Perfect.
All right. We good?
I think we're good.
And Widow Jane 10-year was excellent.
Delicious.
Very good. Thank you for bringing that.
Yes.
And head to the website and grab you guys one of these free stickers. All right. Call it a day. Adios.
Adios.